Joke of the day.
Sema.
Acha kucheka.
Sawa, tuko serious.
Sawa. What do noodles and Dame Amanda plastic surgery have in common?
Plastic.
Yes.
That was the joke.
No, that's not the
answer.
answer. No, that's not the answer.
I would have been so
I
sad.
don't mean guess over
I
plastic.
know, it's so
Hapana.
sadistic, yo.
Both were neighbors suspiciously fast.
Nice one. I have to give that one to you. I mean,
Wanaiva.
suspiciously.
Suspiciously fast. Ati, what?
Unaona dem last week unamwona leo uko like, hey, okay, huku umeiva hivi last week.
Guys. Oh, yeah, plastic.
Plastic
man.
surgery.
Ouch.
Okay.
Wow, sawa. Welcome back to On a Friday podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in, listening to us. I'm Pascal.
I'm Ron.
Tuko hapa back again. On a Friday, catch us on social media, listen to us on Spotify, on Castbox. Unasemanga inashinda ikitoka inaitwa nini? Bado
Google
haijatoka.
Podcast.
That one.
Inaenda kutolewa.
On YouTube, on a Friday podcast pia.
Yes.
Google Podcast kabla itoke.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are all over social media, all over our listening platforms on a Friday podcast. Catch us and listen to us. Bado tuko hapa.
Yes.
Thanks for listening wenye wamekuwa wakisikiza. Manze, we have a really good listening base. Wase upatana sisi and just share good comments. So
Na sijui anatujuangaje na
Manze,
sura yangu
natuna
haiko hapo.
uso.
Anyway.
But sure, we appreciate guys.
Yes.
Keep listening. Today we have guests again. We really love having guests. You know, like the
Other sweet voices.
specify sauti nyororo.
Unarrow down kwanza.
Like mchue tu, the guest ni sauti nyororo, tuna appreciate.
Yes.
We have two beautiful ladies.
Yes.
Podcasters. Fellow podcasters. Karibuni. Mnasikia tu wakicheka tu hapo. Tacho introduce huyu mwenye anacheka kwanza. Sasa
Poa sana.
unaitwa
The common name is Maua. I mean, Maua.
na mimi lakini uko hapa so
Na anapeanga wanaume flowers.
Na napeanga okay, wana flowers.
Yes.
But it depends. So you guys can get flowers. Can they get flowers?
why not?
We'll see.
We'll
can't
think about
get
it.
it.
Okay.
We'll
Hey.
think about it.
So I'm Maua, the host on Culture Shock podcast. Yay. It's just like this, guys. It's just me and my co-host. She'll introduce herself. Basically, I think I just if I started introducing myself and all I do.
Zitakuwa nyingi.
Yeah,
Tuambie,
no,
but you do
accolades, back to back.
like it was mentioned to.
So
yeah,
I'm a
like to hear.
podcaster in Culture
Uh-huh.
Shock podcast.
Uh-huh.
I'm also a fashion stylist. I style a couple
Kwambia
of
she's
people.
dressed. Hey.
A couple of people in the industry, mostly has to do with music.
Yeah.
Right now, and I will shout out this woman because she has brought me a lot. Like, I mean, Fikisha kwenye niko, she's called Shiki. If you check on her page or you check the things I do, you can get to know how I work when that goes to there. I'm also a personal shopper, so in case you guys feel like your clothes are not giving and you want to look like me, holla at me at a price,
Ameangalia
guys.
specific
Bana.
direction.
No offense. And on top of that, I guess I'm just a creative director because I've done most of that. I'm also a set designer because I really love sets, like just anything to do with entertainment. Count me in.
Events.
Let me just sum it up. Yeah, I do a lot of events also. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. I like that we all in this round table sort of we have fans of events, organizing.
We are creatives.
Running.
I guess that's the
Hey.
name, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Second creative. Sasa.
Poa sana.
Unakaa poa.
Aki, thank you.
Unaitwa.
What up, good people? I am Melissa from the Culture Shock podcast, co-host, aka Laughter and Good Vibes.
Ah,
Good vibes on your show.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet and leave it at that.
nice.
Well, as far as an introduction is concerned.
Just a many podcaster, you are an event
Hizo zingine
organizer as
tutajua
well.
mbele.
Yeah,
Tukiendelea.
we can lengthen this relationship and ask each other what are we.
Sindio.
What's up?
Shajuana, we know we're all event organizers. So msijibu hivyo. Msiniambie hapo podcasters.
We are farmers. Okay.
But yeah,
Growing Wambogo apples.
hapo mahali. So we got the host for Culture Shock podcast.
Yeah.
You guys do amazing stuff. Tumekuwa tukiwasikiza pia nyinyi. Nice. We really love your conversations.
We really
Thank
love the
you.
support.
Yeah.
We do.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
As young as we are, yeah?
Yes. We're just babies and we're here doing.
Well, just doing crazy stuff, just releasing episodes.
I have to be
doing
honest though, when I
podcasts.
approached you guys and was like, I would like to like do our, segment with you
Collaborative.
guys.
Yeah.
I was like, So this is where you put on your big boy shoes and say, let's do this. And then you guys actually responded. And I was like,
Like
oh
doing
my God, they
adulting
see what we do
shit.
and they like it.
Yeah.
That's like really nice. I was in such a shock. I actually called Melissa and was like, so
For real.
yeah.
Ngoja, so
There's
you
some guys
didn't
who
expect us to
interview.
respond?
Let's just say from the perspective that we are babies in
Yeah.
this production.
Also babies.
Yeah, but we are still babies
We're just
too.
bigger
So
babies.
we didn't think
If you're a
it's that
toddler, we're an
easy.
infant.
Okay,
Okay.
that's basic. You stop lying.
Come on.
Tuko hapa.
In fact,
We're
unajua-
fellow babies.
yeah. Okay.
Unajua pia kuna kumea kiroho yenye nanga timestamp. So
Kwanza kuendea mwanaume akuitiki. Hey!
Imagine.
Seems like there's a
Ali
story.
slide
The
in a-
retaliation that
Ali
is going on
slide
with
in
your
the
gender.
DM.
Seems like there's a
I
story.
slid in the DM and I was just like, God,
yo,
Like, yeah, just letting it all
this
loose
is
in
your
the DM.
humble
hapo.
servant.
And God didn't
If a man
disappoint.
should reject me, this is not the day.
Mungu unajua ni podcast peke yake, si mambo ingine.
Siwezi slide hivyo kwa DM tena.
God ni work.
Dem akislide kwa DM once inakuwa story ya mwaka. Hata irudia tena lakini utaisahau.
Uta trend.
But it's not really come through.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Now we're here, you know.
Yeah, we're here.
What are we?
We are farmers.
Because, yeah, I was actually thinking your point here could approach people actually fit into what we want to discuss today. Yeah. The what
What
are
are
we?
What are we?
The what are we conversation.
Manze, you do approach people and then from the beginning, is it always, whether from experience yenyu, mwenye ameapproachiana ndo ameuliza what are we after a while? Ama kuna situation mwenye ameapproachiwa ndo atafall harder and then after a while starts asking what are we?
Mwenye ameapproachiwa ama mwenye ameapproachiana.
Considering gender stereotypes are completely out of the picture. So
Yes.
anyone can approach anyone and
Yes.
anyone can
It's
be
a
the
free
approachee.
market. It's a free market.
Okay.
Yes.
So nani
Hapo
atauliza
content
what
yangu
are
iko
we
limited.
first?
So, kama kawaida, me and men, you must finish that. So let's begin. First of all,
Fair women. As we begin.
Men will live in the desert without water.
Thank you.
Moving on swiftly.
Today is bad. So when I think I've actually been asked this question just a few ago, and most times when we're getting into a relationship with my partner at that time, normally I have so much balls. I just don't only slide into DMs. I make sure I slide into your life, and I don't mean with the podcast right now.
Yeah.
Please, in quotation of the what are we? So I
Yes.
make sure I slide into your life, and by the time we are hanging out, you're getting to know me, blah blah blah. You're the one who's gonna ask me that question. Yeah.
Yay.
So I'm the one who gets to define the relationship of what are we.
Yes.
The
And
guy will ask.
yeah.
The reason why I said my
I
content
wonder.
is limited is because I've never been the one to ask what are we.
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever been asked?
Unless you put me.
Yes. Kwani tuna date tunaenda?
Guy.
At some
Okay,
point
first
you'll
of-
ask me a
Wanaume.
question.
First of all, you
Stop
actually
acting like you're not the same niggas who still ask us at this doing, oh, we've been seeing each other for 8 months. What are we doing? Are you my girlfriend?
Roger.
Act like you're not the same guys.
I had a very simple answer for this. If a guy asked, what are we? A guy, mwanaume, huyo amefall. Huyo alianguka. That one has fallen
They actually
hard.
expect you to answer.
We are we.
Yeah, they expect you to say, of course, babe, like you're my right to die, you're my Bonnie, you're the Clyde to my whatever, the Bonnie to the Clyde. You are like the it. This is it.
Yeah.
Like
Motisha
upper-
to Adam.
so but normally I give them the answer. Am I doing this right now? So most times when
Yes.
guys actually ask me what are we, I dodge the question and I normally tell them we're just taking it one day at a time. So we're going with the flow.
We. Okay.
Is that bad?
No, it's not bad if that's how you feel.
No, normally I'm just dodging the fact that I'm the one who'll tell you we are girlfriend and boyfriend, and you go and like act smart, and then I'm gonna be stupid.
Thanks,
Like,
sis.
nah,
Thanks,
cannot
sis.
be me.
Anytime a man asks, and
then why are you asking
a
me
girl
this
asks that
question?
question, she wants the exact same answer in return.
Yeah.
The
You know?
dodge.
And any time a guy asks that question, no, not the dodge. Like if a girl is asking that question, she wants the Red Die, Bonnie and Clyde,
Yeah,
Adams and Morticia kind of
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
But okay, I won't say every time. I'll just say most of the time because I mean there has to be.
Yeah. Exceptions.
So yeah. But if a guy asks you the same question, that's the same thing he wants. And if a girl asks you the same question, that's the same thing he wants in return. And at the end of the day, if you have to ask that question, I think that's already an answered question in itself. It kind of beats the whole point of asking this question. Because if it's a mutual thing, we won't have to ask each other, what are we? We'll just be like, yo, me, I've been catching feelings. Me too. Bam.
It ends. If you have to ask what are we, you clearly ain't.
Yeah.
Uko pabaya.
Hey.
And then
Uko
what stage are you in a
pabaya.
It's a guy
relationship
who's
to ask
asking.
what are we? Because
Sorry?
if we've been dating for like 6 months,
Dating?
okay, sorry, if we've been
Going around.
entangling,
Yes.
entangling for like 6 months, and then you come and ask me what are we, and we've clearly been going out with our friends, going out to parties, people asking me like, oh, did so and so come today, stuff like that. And then one day we're waking up in the morning, pillow talk, you're asking me what are we are farmers. If you don't know what's happening right now, I won't tell you. That's just who I am. Because if you haven't figured it out by now, this is Nairobi.
Although, okay, chill. Sorry. But in as much as we don't see the relevance to the question, it's still a question that's also asked. And like you guys, for instance, you've really reacted to us saying we've never asked the questions, but we've always gotten the question. You guys have never asked the question, and why not? If so,
Why?
and what's the situation in that kind of like?
Okay.
Where
Mimi
answer?
answer.
Yangu by then exact.
You guys are like, over to you.
Hey, over to you.
Natuma kuka ball.
Over to you live in studio. Anyway, yeah, I can confidently say I have never asked that question. Like, I have never been in a situation where I've had to ask that question.
Even a paraphrased version of that question.
No.
At all.
At all.
How long have you
Yes,
dated an
yeah,
entanglement?
90
Because before you knew what you were doing,
Ati?
you've never had an entanglement
No.
or something.
Ukajiulizana by the tunadu.
I'm usually very intentional with what I'm doing.
So you meet somebody across the
Personally.
date table and you're like, so this is what I want.
Okay, you won't necessarily go
No,
like
not
that.
like
Oh,
that.
sorry. Because
Yeah,
I thought
but
you're like, yes, this
by
is
the
it.
time you move to that stage where you would officially categorize yourselves as entangled, I've already made my intentions clear. So if we are not working towards the same thing, then we don't have to cross that bridge. Yeah.
Exactly.
And if we have crossed that bridge, we know what's on the other side of that bridge. We won't cross that bridge alafu.
Tukue clueless on the other side.
Siku moja ndio tunamka pillow talk ndo, by the way, what are we
Tunadu?
doing here? No. That
Si
won't,
tunacheza cha mama na cha baba.
that doesn't happen for me.
Mtume mchanga.
So Munko are very intentional.
Yeah, you're very. That's
Yeah.
that's actually
Yeah.
a good trait.
More
I would like to
intentional.
say that Maua is a very confused, toxic person at this point. Then, because before I start the relationship, by the time we are 6 months, I'm just like, we were still playing.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is her. And my yeah is for her.
Yeah.
Miezi sita.
Well, by
Depends
6
on
months
what
you
stage
already
of the
know.
relationship. No, I'm still the
Mbona
same person.
unashtuka?
I'm still the same person.
Because that's a
who-
freaking long time.
That's not
for,
long.
For you
For
to
things
just
to be dancing around.
Yeah, for you to just
No,
be
it's not.
doing
No, it's
things
not.
and
No,
you
It
don't
also
know.
depends. Is
It's
it 6 months of
not.
consistency or is it 6 months I've seen you
Even
5
if
times?
we are
doesn't
consistent.
matter.
No, not 5 times.
No.
Not 5 times. Like imagine every Friday I'm calling you, hey, by this. So we go we go
Because
hang
you're my
out.
Friday
for me,
buddy.
this is tattoo.
Guy,
Hajamaliza
you're my
mwaka.
Friday buddy. There's
Yeah,
a
we don't know
Saturday,
each other
Sunday,
like
some,
that.
That's fine.
Some worker say this. There's a nigga for weekdays. There's the one for weekends.
I think we should give
Fair
this
enough.
disclaimer. We give it on the Culture Shock podcast every single time. This does not represent every woman in existence.
Okay.
We are
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
Maua.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
why I picked Maua. I started
Sawa.
with Maua. Please.
Yeah, that's a good disclaimer.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, but now I'm wondering,
Uh-huh.
by the time this guy is just a weekend guy, like, haget.
Exactly, right?
Ngoja sawa. Let's now see the guys.
Uja jibu
Please.
yo swali.
Mimi jibu yangu before turudi
Yes.
kwa the
Ushai
guy
uliza
mwenye
hiyo
Maua
swali.
is entangling in for 6 months.
6 months. Ushaiuliza yo swali.
Kuna mtu anakuwa
Never.
hapo kipofu.
Never.
Kama inakupatia hivyo by surprise, kuna mtu alikuwa blind.
Guys, do you actually believe that every single time after 6 months you should have a title with someone?
No.
It's not about having a
exactly.
title.
So,
6, 9,
what
it's not
are we?
about
We're
the
still
time.
figuring it out.
It's
That's
not
what I'm
about
trying
the
to
After
say.
6 months.
Yes, you're
Yes.
still figuring
Yes,
it
it's
out.
very possible. Depending on also your
Ron is
consistency
so
with this
shocked.
person. Like you met someone.
So
they
what are you
really-
consistent towards?
No, that's
Towards
the thing.
nothing.
Exactly.
For 6 months.
They're Fridays.
Sasa, in that kind of case scenario, if you still kind of feel the butterflies and everything for this person, 6 months later, you've seen each other 5 times. And I cannot define that. I cannot tell you what we are because there's nothing really definitive about it. We are nothing. But I'm telling you we are nothing right now speaks for the future in a way. And it's completely
The
unnecessary.
future that you don't have.
The future that I do not know about yet.
It's still early to tell.
It
Yeah,
still
it's
doesn't
still
exist.
Exactly. So you can't answer that
So
question or be in a position to answer that question.
In Love
either.
Island, we call it's still early days. You know,
Yes.
6 months is still early days. Yeah.
It
Still
depends
early
on the
days.
nature of your relationship.
Okay.
And
I
the
think it
people.
depends on the nature of your relationship. Because
Uh-huh.
if I've seen you 5 times in 6 months and I'm still feeling the same way after seeing you 6 months later,
You're my
then there
soulmate.
is something there, but then it's not definitive.
But
But
you can
then
still-
if we've been vibing for 6 months consecutively, every Friday you're calling me and everything, 6 months, okay, 6 months is even a long time. 3 dates after I already know what I want
like
with you.
6 months ni refu.
Guys,
Vaja.
each to their own. That was
Yo,
that
Apple.
was
Apple.
A shower. A
what?
shower lifestyle.
Talk to me,
6
talk to
months
me
later,
then,
you
then.
don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
Now,
Guys,
Asha will
so-
lifestyle won't ask you what
Yeah,
are we.
yeah.
But where Melissa, when you 3 dates and you already know what you want.
It's called
And-
simping
I still want
very
And for the
fast.
guy, after 6 months,
still won't
bado,
But where
I still won't
after 3 dates you already
I already
what you
know.
want.
Now it's either I cut you off or keep entertaining you.
Okay.
Aya. So,
Yeah.
okay, so let me answer mine. Let me answer mine.
Yeah.
How I have never asked, what are we? I've been asked, but I've never asked a chick that.
Ulijibu aje?
Yangu.
Amaliza kwanza hiyo
Sawa.
Ulijibu
explanation.
aje?
Nitarudi venye nilijibu.
Ehe.
The reason I don't ask, it's not like I am very intent ka Ron from the beginning. Yangu, I am very open, so I don't like closing in on things. Sitaki tuanze kuipatia borders na limits and stuff. Kwanza, the one thing I hate even more.
Character development inapiga
Yes,
push-ups.
acha.
Wewe.
Inapiga tu push-ups. Oh, I don't want to.
Two thorns.
I-
Kwa kiti.
Dunia iko like nipatieni huyu. Nipeni huyu ni wangu.
Hapana, mi sitaki kwanza kulimit vitu, so I never ask. I think only few times I've felt the need to ask, but niko like, we, you just go have a
Kangumu
beer, nikikaza chini kidogo,
about
si ndio? Kangumu.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uko hapo, like,
Yeah, I'm there
unaweza enda
supporting.
nje kidogo. But the point is,
Yeah.
the reason I'm against it because I don't like enclosing things, like prison vitu into those borders and those labels, you know. So when I was asked, me I just beat about the bush. Nakwambia, there's a time, my most recent niliulizwa hadi nilianza kusema stories za National Park.
What?
Sijui, I don't even remember. I think I'll ask her what I said. She remembers and she's mad at me for it. But I beat about the bush so hard, hiyo bush ikakuwa National Park. Like wewe ukizunguka tu hivi.
Ulipeleka mtoto marathon.
Unaniuliza jivo, and for real there isn't. The reason I've never asked someone it's because when I like someone, mean ndaisema.
Yeah.
Like I won't ask what I will be like, yo, see, we do this thing, you become my girlfriend, we like really commit, exclusive, no fucking around, no doing anything. Ama, we
Even
do
if
all that and keep it open and do all those things. But that's a straight on conversation that I'd rather have than put it out there. Alafu nimuulize, what are we?
Haya ngoja. Who the most recent one mwenye amekukasirikia by the whoever you are pole.
Man, umepigishwa marathon alafu
Juu najua utasikiza. Utakuja hapo kujua what you are and you still won't find that answer. You won't find that answer.
Okay.
Mlikuwa mmeonana for how long?
sips
6
water.
years.
Sips water.
Hii
At
inakaa
this point.
years.
Years, I see.
6 months
Wewe,
zimepita.
Imepita
ilikuwa imepita mwaka.
Imepita
Exactly.
mwaka.
What are you doing to this child?
Unajua
Free
mtu
our-
yeye anatembea.
Excuse, free our girls.
Tafadhali.
We can't do this. This is why I keep telling guys, men will leave you in the desert
Without water.
Tulikuwa na yeye.
Pia nyie mpeni kuulizwa what are we?
Hapana, lakini 1 year mnafanya nini wenyewe? 1 year. See, I
But
just
the whole
say-
point
At
is-
least
No.
mimi I'm very
What are we
intentional.
coming from a woman is a little bit acceptable because maybe she just doesn't understand how to read you. Completely
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
coming from a man, it's kidogo weakness. Allow me to say this.
Okay.
As a man, you're the PNP. We talk about this all the time. Provide and protect. Yeah, it's a basic for you guys. As it's the nurturing and the TLC and stuff.
Taking care
Yeah.
of you, make
So,
sure your Fridays are good.
PNP also provide and protect. There's the nature of a relationship and there's the security of a relationship and there's the structure of a relationship. That is not the responsibility of the woman. The responsibility of the woman is to maintain that standard that you've set. But the responsibility of a man is to set that standard.
Okay.
So a man asking me what are we is complete nonsense.
Unasikia?
Because
Moving
he's
over to
supposed
you,
to
sir.
know.
He's supposed to know what he wants.
I didn't ask.
Tell me, Banaki, I tell you yes or no.
Exactly. Like I tell you, I want
But
you.
you can't be
I want
stringing
us to
us
be
now
committed.
in
I
your
want us to be
1 year.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Or I want you, but I still want to.
Unaona venye umeshtuka mwaka
it's
yake
not because of
hivyo ndo venye mi
that.
nilishtuka miezi 6 zako niko like why
Me,
are
I
you
have a
keeping
question
someone
for
around
you.
for 6 months for what?
Exactly.
I have an answer because you're not
Unakuja
sure.
kwa nyumba
Yeah,
yangu
Because you're not sure.
unakuja kwa nyumba yangu miezi 6 na sijui tunafanya nini.
Exactly. How?
Miezi 6.
Kwanza, I feel like for a guy that's even higher than for chicks. Chicks atajua.
6
A
months.
lady would know.
No, a man would know.
Hey.
If a man doesn't know, there's
A man
nothing
is
there.
free.
Simple, right?
Can I
A
give
man
you
is
guys
free. A man has options.
an honest
A
perspective?
man
As a woman, wait, acha nikuulize. Kati ya ship yenye natembeleango na watu na lighthouse yenye natembeleango zote ni gani nafaa kusimama? Ship ndio na watu wengi.
Yeah. Back
Pole.
Drink,
Where?
breathe, mama.
The
You remember?
lighthouse is receiving options.
Breathe, mama.
The ship has only what it can take.
Tell her
Raja,
to breathe.
So,
No,
so,
by the way, madam
so
have
everyone
a
has
lot of
options.
options.
Sawa.
Yes.
So everyone has options.
Yes.
The reason we ask what are we is because they're not ready to commit.
Okay, and that brings me back to
Or the
one
reason when
statement.
anaulizwa is
Thank you.
because are you ready to commit?
Brings me back to
Yes.
that statement.
Yes.
So you telling me
Or
6
kuko
months,
exclusive.
6 months is enough for me to give you an answer. Now let me try be a little bit unjoking about this. Yeah. So most of the times I have ended up committing to relationships only for me to realize like 1 year later, man, I was stringing myself all along. I wasn't in it. I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I wasn't like even equipped to deal with all that shit. Because somebody's gonna text me at like 9 p.m. ask me, "Where are you?" And I'm gonna be like, this
Son of a
guy.
soil.
Yeah, you know. I'm gonna be like, are you serious?
Where are you? Who
Yeah,
are
you know,
we?
stuff like that. It doesn't really sit well with me.
Yeah.
Also, I'm the type of person, and I can't even imagine I'm saying this. At least it's on a Friday. I'm going to let you do you, be you, as long as there's no ring on my finger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go have fun with your friends, whether they're chicks, whether they're guys. You know, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not there to like cage
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
When he said caged, I understood. So that's also eventually, like after 2 to 3 relationships, I actually realized maybe this commitment thing is kind of the reason as to why all my relationships keep going down the drain. You know, so the what are we question for me is a lot of pressure. I know for you, you're trying to get clearance, you're trying to get understanding, you're trying to put yourself on a map, know where we are standing. But then I'm still the same person in 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm like hapana. Hata nikasema yes hizi alafu character development ningoje pale mbele na si ati sijachapwa kadhaa
Yeah.
huku nyuma. So like the commitment issues, yeah, imagine mimi na venye mimi ni keki nimepigwa kadhaa.
Wacha tu.
Wacha tu bana.
Yeah.
Siseme mengi, but things like that,
Yeah.
like the trauma I've had before, is reasons why I need to unpack to be able to tell you, this is how I feel, this is who I am. So lately, when you ask me what are we, I actually don't answer with we are farmers. Let me just clarify that.
You ilishia 2022.
Yeah. So I tell you, currently, this is the position I am in, and this is what I'm doing. So if you're okay with it, then we can continue. I try to elaborate in as much as I'm not giving you you're the Bonnie to my Clyde and the watch to my watch, you know. Yeah. But also commitment has a lot to do with it. So most times when you see a shure or you see a guy not telling you what you want, try and understand. Si ati anakwambia hivyo cause anatry kupull dem mwingine ama is trying to get with another dude, or this chick just doesn't commit. No, there's some reasons towards it.
Okay.
So what are we
Nando
is a scary question sometimes.
Nando hiyo,
No,
for a
when
guy,
you-
kiasi for a guy, it might take longer to get there because again, I think again after we've been going out, we've been seeing each other every Friday. But are you someone I can live with? Are you someone I can actually not just see each other on the weekend peke yake, but can I have you around on a Monday, on a Wednesday afternoon?
Yeah.
Are you someone who I can go out and like meet with my friends, do stuff, bring you into my routine? So all these are questions which
they expect you to be in their routine.
And but do they don't all fit
No,
in.
because
They
there's
don't all
some
fit in.
ladies who would like to do that.
Yeah,
Like
true.
anataka ukienda kuona mabeshte zako anashindwa mbona haumpeleki, mbona hauendi na yeye.
Okay, that has a degree.
Hey.
It depends on the
Yes.
relationship also as well. Mama, don't forget I had a ring on my finger at some point in this life.
Cheers.
No, I'm ring on my finger. No, I glitch. But
Yeah.
me even with a ring on my finger,
Still not a reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes a guy will string you along just because they want you to answer the what are we question so that they can make sure you're there while they go around with their own shenanigans. That's just from our perspective.
That is
Thank you, ladies.
That's my opinion.
Heal,
Thank
Maua,
you.
heal.
Heal from
Listen
my
from us.
family story.
Ngoja.
Bana.
I was
Me, I'm the breaker.
I was to ask,
The breaker.
when you start getting involved with someone, do you actually make your position clear?
Yeah.
Like, do you?
Si unacha toothbrush.
Hapana wewe, tuko serious Maua.
Tuko serious kwani
Asi
mimi sifanya
nituma.
nini? Niliacha
Mimi
toothbrush.
ndio bafu nione well. Hii toothbrush
pia
is
mimi ndio
wangu.
tupa.
Your pink inafanya
It
nini
is
hapo?
not mine.
Even me I'll throw it out.
Nitaendelea kuacha vitu, nitaendelea.
It is not
Maua, that does
mine.
not work. Like
Anakuwa
honestly, you
just
answer your
closet
question,
yako.
yeah?
Uko,
Bring my clothes and I'm a stylist. So I'm buying clothes and I'm dumping that at your place. I'm buying clothes and I'm dumping that at your place. So that when another shore comes, seeing there's a lot of clothes, hauna sister.
Acha nipatie
Ndamwambia ni ya
disclaimer.
kazini
Ngoja,
yangu.
acha nipatie disclaimer. Maua atakuja akupende 9 months, 6 months, 1 year plus. Acha nguo zake 130 kwa nyumba yako na aende na kusahau.
hivyo. Na ni stylist.
Akuachie
Unataka
pesa.
tena?
Na kuachia nguo, you can give them to your new girlfriend.
Unataka nguo
Do you have
ya
a younger sister?
For my mental state, I will leave the clothes. I will leave my
Your
bags.
entire style.
In fact, if I could, I would leave the feelings I had for you there with clothes. It's just that I can't.
Okay, just to like reiterate on
Yeah.
what you were saying. He talked about feeling caged. Pascal talked about feeling caged, about the whole defining a relationship thing. And you asked if you're clear about where you stand when you're coming into a relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with this world and the way things are and how fast things are moving, it's so easy to enter a relationship in 3 weeks and be in a relationship for 1 year and still not know what you're doing with someone. And people have all this packed up baggage that they're not willing to release and all this childhood trauma that's still lying around, post-colonial and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing to realize is, number one, if you're at that point when you ask yourself, should I ask this person, what are we? Or I don't know what this person and I are. Are you compatible? Do you have shared values? Do you have shared goals? Do you have shared opinions? Do you have anything concrete in between you guys that can establish a relationship? And then you can answer that what are we question on your own without even asking this other person. And when you're coming to them, you already have a conclusive decision on your own.
Inakuanga mbaya.
Ni better, after that, after you've come to your own agreement with yourself, nimejua nataka umse. Kama anitaki ni sawa, but umejiprepare for both results.
Yeah,
I think it's the same thing a man does whenever he's going to a lady. You've primed her, you've prepped her, you've done your thing, yeah? Umempiga lugha, whatever. You've taken her out, done blah, 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 whatever you guys do for your chicks. And then you're getting to that point, I'm like, okay, I want to do the most for this woman. But then, are we there? Are we?
Yeah.
Is she? Are we? If you can answer that question on your own, then it's easy to prepare yourself for whatever answer you're going to receive from your partner.
Yeah.
Because you already are
The reason
established.
why, did you want to answer that question?
The reason I'm saying mbaya, I'm just gonna put it out there. The reason I'm saying mbaya when a chick does that, I've been in that situation, and what she told herself in her mind, like when she asked herself that question and she did her own review, nini, akapata an answer, then just came to ask just for the sake of it. My answer ilikuwa huko, not yake iko huko, not even on the map, like totally different, because sometimes you really think you're seeing everything, but you're only seeing what you want to see.
Are you
You're only
delusional?
You are.
Delulu.
We are.
Are you Delulu? Delulu
we noticed
is the
that.
not find us Solulu.
That is the solution.
That is the Solulu. Delulu
We
is not
notice
a
Josie, a lot
Solulu.
of things are based on your perception.
Yes.
Like you are so blended to what we see and what we experience that you peke ndo itabaki kwa akili. So utaanza kuona, this guy ajani.
No, you're blinded with what you
Want to
expect.
see. Yeah,
What
you're
you
not
expect, what
realistic.
you want.
You're not
Maybe
being
not have
realistic.
expectations though.
No, you can't
you
not have
have.
expectations.
We have
You can.
expectations.
Everyone has expectations.
Well,
You
Whether
can't live a life without expectations. You wouldn't have motivation for life.
expectations can be, I don't expect this thing to go anywhere.
That's
That
an
is
expectation.
your
Yeah, that is an
expectation.
expectation.
proper basi.
Kuna
Expectations
wengine
hapa ni negative.
kuna
Zako
expectations
zote.
zingine,
Zote zake
this
ni
is not
I
going
plead the
anywhere.
fifth. I shall not
but
answer
my
that.
point
I'm not
was-
saying yes or no.
You will always have this expectation and they will blind you. They'll make your vision blurred. So what you're seeing when you're talking to that guy, when unadhania ajakwambia you're exclusive,
Kumbe
you're
yeye
a thing.
amekuonyesha bana.
Lakini amekuonyesha yeye amefanya vitu.
Amekupeleka mpaka kwa
Maybe
maito.
yana anipatia tu
Hey,
time
hizo vitu
kiasi
zinaweza
just
kuwa
muone venye
uongo.
mnaenda. Alafu
friends
huko hapo
say,
unataka
our
fast
guy.
answers like what are we? I think we're nothing. I think you don't value me.
Yeah.
More, if it doesn't value you, why are you still there?
See, after hapo
Wacha
ashaanza catch
nikwambie, mi
feelings.
acha nitete wode.
You wouldn't be there kama angekuwa
But the reason
anakuvalue.
why I'm asked
You
that
might.
question.
So ni venye tu you are not what you want to be. You want to be
That's
exclusive. You want
Yeah.
to be. You want the title.
Yeah.
Full on title with the crown and everything. Yeah, yuko ready kukupea hizo ama
Yeah.
yuko ready kucommit to hizo ama bado ana weigh the waters whatever, but you are still there.
Yeah.
I think woman that for a guy it takes a bit longer. Sometimes.
The reason
But
why-
see what again.
Yeah.
I like your disclaimer. It's not for all guys.
And I have reason to believe it's not about it taking longer for guys, because if anyone has taught me it is easier for guys, it's guys have taught me it's easier for guys.
To do
if
what?
a guy has not made a decision, you're not the decision. Acha tu niseme hapa.
Sawa.
Kwa sababu
But
if a guy
it's-
has not made a
it
decision,
cuts.
you're just not
True.
the decision.
Yes,
So it's all- that's not far
it
from
does
the
cut
truth.
across because I was having the same conversation with former colleagues, and niliwaambia, you know what, let's just be honest here. Ona venye some guys tukihavia hiyo conversation anasema, oh, I cannot pay an Uber for a woman. Dem anasema, oh, I cannot cook for a man. Ukipata ule mwenye utataka kupikia, you will cook for that man.
Yeah.
Ukichakule demu unataka kupampa,
Utampampa.
Same with the guy.
Hautakubali
A guy
aingie
akipata
matatu na
demo
uko na
nyana-
pesa.
a guy akipata demo nyana atafanya ku exclusive ata drop
Yes,
ata
ata
change
drop
namba
everything.
yake.
It's-
Anaweza hata
Can we stop
achana na
putting
IG.
responsibility
there.
of loyalty on the partners?
On the other.
But it takes
No, it's
No,
not
to some
about the
degree,
partner.
it can be. To some degree, it can be.
You are
in the
setting
sense
yourself
that,
up for
let's say-
failure, if you ask me the truth. Because my loyalty is not dependent on if you're loyal or not.
Yeah.
Your loyalty to me or how much you want to treat me and pamper me shouldn't be based on how I am as a person. An expression of yourself is your actions, not of the other person. So can we just quit it with the whole shenanigans of putting the responsibility of good behavior on your partner like it's not your
The
responsibility?
same way someone comes at you and is like,
It's like
"After
pegging
all
your
I
good
did
character
for
on
you,
someone else."
bro. When somebody asks you nilikuuliza,
No, the
they
reason-
actually have a lot of
The
reason
reason
to
why
ask you that
nimesema to some
question.
degree it can be on the partner. I have had stories where, let's say it's the chick who really wanted to put this guy on a pedestal, but ikafika point where the guy is just not reciprocating, then
Yeah.
it demotivated her.
Yeah.
So akaanza ku step back, not
Yeah.
because she doesn't want to do these things, but she feels like she's just trying too
Too
hard
hard.
and she's not getting anything
True.
in return.
Yeah.
So
True.
to some degree it might depend on the partner.
Yeah.
But unaona,
Yeah.
even in that case, the initial drive ilitoka from her.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the guy who held a gun to her head akamwambia, you need to do ABC for me. Like,
Exactly.
ni the chick alijituma. Anyway, the reason why I asked that question
Hiyo
is...
alijituma inakuwaga ngumu, usiseme tu alijituma.
No, alijituma. Watu hujituma huku nje. Hey, watu hujituma.
Bob the Builders, can you hear me?
Yes. So the reason why I asked that question is, personally, what I find challenging to wrap my head around is when the communication has been very clear, but bado kuna delusion umsana make kwa akili yake.
Huyo msee,
Ana build
msee ni
castles.
psycho.
Ana build
So
castles.
msee ako na shida za
I
akili.
would understand. No, I would understand if...
Ukipenda
Hapana.
umependa.
We, aki kuna watu wakwagi sawa.
Hapana.
No,
Hapana.
I would understand if
Eh.
the communication wasn't clear. Then
Eh.
nyi wote mlianza tu actions no words.
Yeah.
Alafu imefika 6 months in,
And then
you have
go.
never had that conversation.
Yeah.
That's on
But
place.
in a situation where
You know.
we have had that conversation, mekwambia,
You're
I am
aware.
not ready to commit. Ukaniambia, it's fine. I'm okay with doing whatever we are doing without committing.
Yeah.
Alafu 5 months later, you come and ask me, what are we? we had this
Nilikushow,
conversation. Like
Buddha.
we did have this
Can
conversation.
I add a little bit of poison to your injury?
Uh-huh.
Let me add a little bit of poison to your injury.
Uh-huh.
We started this thing out, we had this conversation, we weren't fully committing to anything, or maybe we were, maybe we weren't. But then there was that conversation, yeah?
Uh-huh.
And then tunakuja huku ndani tunapata the Lulu is confusional. So kuna zile zenye, like just to yours, yeah, we had the conversation. You're deep in depths of this relationship, and now you start asking yourself, what are we? Like tulikuwa tushaingia ndani, lakini sasa we tumefika ndani, lakini we tuko wapi?
Ingia ndani za
Irumi kwa
Nimeingia
empty.
quantum realm. I'm meeting new creatures. What's happening? Yeah.
Hizo sawa.
Sasa hizo ni nini?
Hizo. Now imagine sometimes some people feel comfortable with them not being like a thing with this other person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until they see this other person with,
With
other
another
people.
person.
Ndo wanaanza
Let's just
by
be
the way
honest.
hapa,
Let's just be
it's every
honest.
day.
If you knew you were
Some
going to
people are
stand your
straight up
ground,
narcissistic.
if you thought you were
Let
all
me
that,
secure
Yeah,
this.
true.
Yeah, some people
Actually
are straight up
secure.
narcissistic.
yeah, if you knew you were all that, if you started this conversation with, you just do you. You see that I started with, it's okay. I'm not going to tie you down.
Yeah.
Because
So now
I know
that's
when
the
you're
same thing
going.
he's saying.
When I know you're going to a club, I'm not going to come there for you.
Yeah.
You finish what you're going to finish. But
If
then
you're
there's-
coming home, come home.
This is the trick. No, this is for me to ladies. Be smart like this, you know? Make sure in those 6 months you have become the favorite to the brother. You go to the celebrations. The mom has kind of seen
Hey,
you.
mama kidogo na kwa
Friends
Nigeria.
like you.
The friends like you. So you know when you're looking in that
Unajua mali
perception,
vitu ziko kwa hiyo nyumba.
huyu mtu unajua kila kitu.
Umesahau important detail. Even the girl best friend really
Knows
enjoys you.
You know, make sure you have made yourself that confident in this
Lulu.
relationship
But
to an
you-
extent. No,
But
wait,
you can set
to an
yourself
extent
up really
whereby
in that case
you know
too.
this guy would
Yes.
not even dare. If he wants to go cheat, Airbnb. Because
but then
ataki ku risk because anajua place yenye mmefikishana. Now that is not your problem. Those, as I say, my dear girl, that's this guy's demons. Aende deal nazo huko as long as siwai kuku affect. Because
Yeah.
if you feel we're in this state of this relationship, we've gotten here.
Yeah.
You going to get another girl is not supposed to intimidate me like that. If I've made sure I've made my mark, hey, I promise you.
Is it really about the intimidation on someone else?
No, I'm not even. No, yes, sometimes the insecurity pops up from there. The whole, oh my god, I can't believe it. It pops up from insecurity.
What
Because
does
you
she
feel,
have?
you feel like this guy is lying.
Rage.
You feel like this guy is.
Mi nasikianga tu nimewaka moto. I'm not jealous of anyone. That girl can go die or live in Eden
Hey,
for all I
relax.
care.
Usiwaue.
Okay, ako Eden pia.
Watatu.
Ako Eden pia.
ako Eden
Anaweza enda
pia.
kwenye anataka. Anaweza enda Berlin Hell ama ende Eden. Mimi sitaki kujua msichana ni nani. Wewe ndo niko na shida, tulikuwa na agreement kuja hapa.
Gani?
We- Like I
Now
hate
I'm
it when
talking
someone goes
about
back on the agreement.
now I'm talking about a
I
situation
really don't
where
like it.
you
Appreciate
two
it.
haven't defined what you have.
Asi basi hiyo
Like
iende.
it is alafu
Yeah,
It's called may
you
the best
find
one
out-
win. Go to
Yeah,
the
you-
Maito.
That is the best way if you
Go
ask me.
to the my girls.
Especially with this
I
Nairobi.
taught you something today.
then more you realize that okay,
Uh.
hey, if Friday hajanipigia
Uh-huh.
the last 3 Fridays hakunipigia alafu ukianza kufind out ukienda IG yake kwanza the first Friday unaonanga +1 follower ukienda hiyo +1 follower ni Melissa alafu kidogo every
Naangalia
Friday ni
pale
Melissa
status.
ndio unaangalia status
Naangalia status naona hawa say.
kuna watu who change
Hii mkono
mind
ni
at-
yake.
Hii mkono
Ile mkono
naijua.
hii mkono ni yake. Hii mkono
enye
naijua.
imesoft launchiwa unajua hapo umesoft launch lakini hii mkono ni ya-
Imba
ni
yalitikia
ya
bana na mimi
Melissa.
nilisleki. Okay, that's
Yeah.
kind of
kuna new change mind
But
at that
that's
point
okay.
so you had a conversation mkaagree
Yeah, it's okay
you,
to
you are not
explore.
committing
Yeah.
alafu once wakiona kuna mwingine ameanza kukam anaanza okay
start being crazy.
yeah achani
your
come
side
make my
confidence
mark
there.
because kuna venye threat
Sema
imekam
kweli Ron, hiyo inakaa more of like a guy issue.
Yeah.
And guys would never admit.
But there's some chicks who have
guys
it.
get more jealous. Yeah, that situation because it's a chick that you know konae. Like you ujaijibu hiyo what are we know.
You're very comfortable.
Na alikuuliza lakini bado unajua you're here. We are nothing, but you're here. The moment that one who's there starts going elsewhere, the guy ataumwa.
kidogo anaanza kwenda gym alafu
Hey.
Friday akupigi ukimpigia nakwambia niko busy kidogo
lakini
si we try on
anaumwa.
Sunday unajua hii ni mpaka Saturday usiku
Acha niwaambie hata kama najifanya hapa hiyo inaumanga. Hey.
Hiyo itauma. Lakini
Ego
bado
yako
it
ikaangushwa hapo.
So
Your
in that
states.
situation, would you blame the other person
No.
or would you blame yourself for
Yourself.
not defining this thing when you had the chance to define it?
I wouldn't blame anyone. Life happens.
No, already unaumwa.
Yeah, it's fine. But
Kukutani na umwa. Kumu utaumwa tu, lakini
Utazoea.
uta move on.
Utazoea.
Mimi sizoei, nina move on.
Rudi soko.
Ni ati kama hii kitu ilikuwa intense hivyo, maybe ungethink twice before unge kwa ingine deeply and maybe ungeguzisha kidogo angalia test the waters this side. Kama ingine ilikam, no umeenda tu hivyo. Asiwende tu kiendanga na have a good life.
Lakini pia wewe ukiambia mtu I'm
But
not
you're
really
not
sure about what
committing.
we are.
So that's the
You
thing.
haven't
Si basi
committed.
kuna
That's the
mwingine
thing, like,
Eh,
if
so why
he's-
can't he have
why are we
both?
lying to each other? There's somebody
Sindio.
else somewhere. If I'm telling you,
I
I'm not
better
sure
not
about our
know.
relationship.
Ngoja. There's this interesting part.
Kuna two questions hapo basi.
Ngoja.
Ama please tell me
There's this interesting
exactly
point.
where you
Because
are.
nimemwambia, you're in a situation where you haven't defined what you have. Sindio.
And then he's
Then-
looking at someone else.
Like, what's stopping me? And I've started interacting with Melissa. What's stopping me from
Interacting
going
with
to-
Maua.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing. So mbona ikuume ukijua there's another chick?
Kuuma
Okay,
lazima
here's the thing.
iume. Kuuma
Nimeshasema
lazima
ume.
Then
Wow.
you just define.
Huwezi-
No,
huwezi
Okay, here's the
control
thing.
kuumwa.
Here's the thing. Okay, kuna
Mimi
venye unaweza
kiume
kucontrol
inauma.
kuuma. Kuna mahali mimi najuanga kucontrol kuuma yangu. Walai kama hatuja define. Mimi sina feelings. If we haven't defined this shit,
Unamsikia?
like babe, hatujaambiana, niangalie kwa macho. Hatujaambiana ati mimi na wewe ni mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe ni mimi na wewe.
months.
Unataka kwenda ishia? Unataka
months.
kwenda ishia?
6 months.
Mimi sikuulizi
Imagine,
swali,
kila
wewe
Friday.
niulizi
6
swali.
months.
But
Wameonana
mimi
kila
sitaki-
Friday for 6
6
months,
months
alafu
haitakuuma.
anasema feel
Ngoja,
kitu.
but mimi sitaki kuenda. Mi nataka this Friday niko kwako. Next Friday niko mimi niko busy but niko
Maua.
kwake.
I mean, I don't like that. For me, it's disgusting.
Okay, so
Oh.
kwako
You
you
won't
want
know.
It's
you
like
don't
being
want-
a glutton.
You
That's
don't want
gluttony
to
for me.
define, but you want it to be exclusive.
No, I don't want to not say anything. The thing I'm saying is, have your business as your business. As far as we
Usijue.
haven't defined our business,
Ni usijue.
your business is your business, my business is my business.
So Friday
Sawa.
as
So
what
When
you
we
do
come
is
to
our-
the room and we're like, okay, is how I'm catching feelings for you. I like you too. What are your standards? Here they are. What are his standards? Here they are. Can we marry our standards together and still live a successful life and still grow as two individuals? Fine. If we haven't had that conversation, I have no feelings for you. The best I can do is tell you kidogo naweza catch feelings. Jipangie uko mbele.
Now there's my side, guys. Are you ready? You've said you're going to Melissa.
Yes.
You finish with me, you go to Melissa, right?
Enda naende kwa wewe.
Aya, mi niko side
Ako kwa
ya
Pascal.
nuggets.
Si ndio?
Yeah?
Yes.
Tunacheza safe.
Sawa.
Sisi tunacheza safe.
Yes.
Yes.
Kila mtu ni home and away. Home and away.
Game
Mi niko hapo.
season iko na home and
Niko
away.
safe.
Hawezi cheza
No.
home peke
So,
yake.
whoever wins, wins. If
Okay.
eventually you end up going to Melissa all the time and feel that's comfortable,
Fine.
you're not
Good
leaving
for
me
you.
hanging, Bana.
Oh, so I-
am safe.
So I would not be the bad person.
No, you're
No.
not.
Okay.
Because
Sawa.
I'm choosing to look at it. No, that's what I'm telling you. This is my perspective.
Yeah.
She said gluttony.
Yeah.
I'm
For
not
me
being,
now, like
I'm not
it's
being
too much.
I'm not being glutton in my opinion. I'm just not gonna call you on a Friday and ask you where you are. Instead, I'm just gonna holler this side. I'm gonna be like, "Hi,
Go for it.
ulisema ni wapi?"
Yeah.
No.
Drop
Okay.
pin, toma pin.
Acha nieke lines,
So you
borderlines
get it.
hapa.
So in my life, I'm going to be
Borderlines
like,
ni
I'm going
kwenye
to come back.
tumedefine
Just a
ama
bit.
hatujadefine.
Just a
Hatuja
bit, babe.
define.
Just
Kama
a bit.
itadefine wasi ujibambe.
Just a bit. Nilishinda nikisema itauma. I'm not saying
Yeah.
me knowing he's not going on Friday is not gonna it's gonna mess me up for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that I know what I did to myself months earlier and I'm now living in my decision. You know, this is the
Yeah.
consequence of my
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
I have no right to come and tell you, oh my God, I can't believe you called me. Oh my God, I saw your Insta. I'm just gonna be like, hi. The next day you call me up. I answer. So no. So you want us to like continue hanging out? Chonjo.
Yeah.
If what you're putting to the table is giving,
It's giving.
we continue. And also, there's this other side. And
I couldn't tell no stop
honestly, this is me being genuine.
Yeah.
If I'm having something going on with you and I haven't defined it with you, and I got to a place where I'm looking at this side, like the other
And it's
side, and this
kinda
other guy,
giving.
and it's giving me, I'm gonna tell you, by the way, you remember when I told you this and this and this? I've noticed that this and this and this is happening.
Yeah.
So I would expect if you had brains in your head and you were trying to go for Melissa kinda, and it was kinda giving, give me some heads up.
Yeah.
So the heads up is
That's it.
when
Yeah.
the heads up is when anaona kuna chance.
Yeah, because
ya actually
obviously
succeed
Friday ya
Melissa.
kwanza hauko, Friday ya pili hauko. Pia wewe umeanza tu
But
realist.
akiona Lorna akiangalia one Melissa pia kuna mali pengine
Si ni
anacheza.
sawa.
Na yaseme ako sawa. So
Home and away.
mambo.
Don't forget, if we are
Maua
single,
anacheza home and away.
if we are single,
Yes.
it's home and away.
Yeah.
If I'm dating you and you do that,
Say trouble.
Okay.
let me tell you,
If you're
you've
dating
given me a
mume
window.
agree ni exclusive.
You've
No,
given
thank
me
you.
a window.
If
I'm not
you're
gonna
dating
get
a
mad at you.
green
I'm not gonna
exclusive.
get pissed off. I'm still the same person who doesn't get pissed off when you
Turn
cheat
the
on
game.
me. But I look at you and be like, so you want us to go like
Find
this?
me at the pitch.
This is it. And then I'm gonna
Yeah.
gonna swing my way. Or I'm gonna decide that's what you want. Eventually these demons are gonna catch up to you. Especially if you feel
Yes.
like you're lying to me and you feel like you're doing such a good job at it. Let me tell you, eventually this energy that you have, it's not the energy we are in the relationship. And I'm not the type of person to bring toxicity into a relationship.
Yeah.
Honestly, I tell you, if I'm stupid that day, I'll tell you by the way nilichoma. Like when nikasirikia, acha relationship iishe, let things be as they are. But I'd rather tell you the truth. So when your shenanigans come knocking on my door, that's when the relationship is about to be over.
Yeah.
You get it?
What I was asking about is before you have actually defined what you have.
Yeah, so enjoy yourself.
So,
Home and away,
mko
bana.
kwa hiyo
Chezeni
nini?
home and away.
Would you?
I feel like such
Ngoja,
a
would you want it to be
bad
exclusive?
Would I want an exclusive relationship?
No,
Show.
like would you want?
a shower.
A shower.
A shower for the light.
Ngoja. Would you want it to be exclusive even before you define
No,
whatever you
no,
want?
no,
No.
no, no.
Learn
No.
this person.
No,
Learn their
this is
bad,
the
their
thing.
good, their everything.
I can be exclusive with you in my mind. I won't tell you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
That's what I prefer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
But you yako, you won't expect
Mr.
exclusivity
Kwambia,
from him too.
I won't expect it from him too. Now, when I realize I am really feeling you like your design, I would actually be exclusive with you. Like, I just do it in my mind on my own. I'll do an experiment with myself.
Higher.
Let me see how this goes
I
for me.
have-
And then, at the same time, I'll come to you non-exclusively to discover if you're exclusive. Lazima pia ujue hizi maswali za what are we before ulize hiyo swali ujinga.
Unaona,
Research.
guys don't do all that research.
Research. Guys, you do.
Ngoja,
You
Research.
do it
Don't go
even
too
years
wrong.
after
Semi.
she's married.
When a guy asks,
They go with
what
the
are
flow.
we? I said it at the beginning. That
They
guy
actually
has
go
fallen.
with the flow.
Huyo amependa kupenda. Ndo mwanaume uliza what are we?
There's a
Yes.
Huyo ako
motive.
ready
Yeah,
kuacha
yeah,
kila
whoa,
kitu.
yes.
Yeah.
Anataka tu kujua. Niambie, just give me the word and then
Yes.
cut off everyone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
It's true.
When a guy asks, that's what it means. I feel like when a chick asks, bado ako hapa. Anajaribu kuweigh. Utaambia the chick,
Mnajaribu
"Hey,
kuweigh
manze."
options bado.
Okay, not really. Not always. It's not a definitive.
There are some who
I'll ask you, what are we? Like me, if ever I have ever had that thought, of course I have had that thought to ask, what are we? And I'll find my own ways to get my own answers. I don't have to ask you that question because, of course, you won't give me a clear one. Or you might give me a clearer one and it might be too heavy for me to receive.
Yeah.
So I'd rather protect my little heart.
yeah.
Unaona?
Eh.
Guy atafikiria hivyo.
Si tumeanza kudate. By the time tunafikishana hapo, umenipeleka the first date, the second date. Hey, by the third date ushaniambia kenye unataka na mimi nishaweza kuassess. Wewe umeniambia unataka nini na ningeana na kwa hii plan yangu.
Yeah.
Kama ingiliana, kama ingiliani. I think the only reason why you'd get to a point where you're asking each other what are we, whether it's man or woman, is you've allowed a lot of things to be swept under the rug and now it's getting to a point where you have a heap and you need to clean it up and you don't know how to sample.
Yeah, true. By the time you ask that, it's been quite some time.
Yes. And I have a follow-up question. It's to all of you. When someone asks, what are we? And when someone comes, so that's scenario A. Scenario A is someone coming and asking you, what are we? Scenario B is someone coming to tell you that they'd like whatever you haven't defined to be exclusive. Like they don't want, when you mesema, maybe they have the same perspective. They just find it, like gluttonous and, they just want you
Mtu
to
wako
be
ni mtu wako.
exclusive. Yeah. But bado hamja define, but iko exclusive. Ile siku wenye utaboeka uende. But where you just keep it here, would you consider those two scenarios the same?
No.
Which one is worse?
Please repeat the last part.
So scenario A ni what are we? Si ndio mtu kuuliza what are we?
Yeah.
Scenario B is someone to come and ask you that, okay, not ask you. Okay,
Akwambie
yes, ask.
rada ndo hii hivi ndio
Yes,
iko.
akwambie, yes, we haven't defined what we have,
Okay.
but I'd like it to be exclusive.
Trust me, that would be a better. The
Yeah.
latter would be a better conversation starter because at least we're not beating around the bush. And if you came at me like this, it means you're way prepared for both answers. And if I give you any of the answers, and normally for a guy to come and tell you that, it's the same way a guy will come at you in a club and be like, yo, so I saw you. And then this guy is like looking nice, he's confident. So I saw you and I lecture and I'd like to take you out on coffee tomorrow at 10 p.m. That's how it sounds. You get? Okay, 10 p.m.
Very
is kinda
sexy.
crazy. That coffee is not going
Unakuwa
anywhere.
like, okay.
So like 10 a.m. It makes much more sense with you having a structure with your life because now you're not putting me on the what are we question mark.
Yeah.
So now you are leaving me to do that math for myself and apply you in my life.
Yeah.
And then when I say no, it's gonna still be my burden. If I say yes, I feel like you pressured me into it. I'd rather you just come at me straight up, tell me, by the way, this is how I am.
Yeah.
I'm flawed here and here, but I'd like to take it here and here. Only if you're ready. Would you like for me to give you time?
Nakwambia no, unasikia uchungu.
Bana.
Sio ndio upenzi, watu
Kama
wanajaribu-
unasikia uchungu,
watu
utaenda
wanajaribu
usugue,
kuavoid-
upige round and move on.
Yeah, if you're actually afraid of no, you're asking the wrong question.
Yeah.
If you're
True.
afraid of no,
Yeah.
you're asking the wrong question.
Ju-
If you're asking if you're saying if you're afraid of a no, you're in the wrong place.
Space.
And it's the wrong person.
It's the wrong person. 'Cause
It
if
might
you're
actually
waiting
be
for
the
no-
right person, but then have you ever heard of people saying they met at the wrong time?
Yeah.
Most usually you'll find one person wasn't ready for that space.
That's not the conversation you're supposed to be having. Ask the real question. What's your question there?
Tukue real. History ya dance around fear.
What are we ni dancing around?
Hey.
Juu nakujanga hapo kwa like utaki kusikia uchungu, so utaki kumwambia yo.
Okay,
This
so
is
That's
you-
dancing around
So-
fear and disappointment.
Check
That's
isikia
what people
vibaya
come
and
Sikia benda home. Ama uende kwenye shots, ama
Amua.
kwenye cocktails.
Yeah.
Move on.
Bye.
pigia
Uko
rafiki zako
kwenyu.
kwa like check it on.
Umse imagine
Uko
amenikataa.
kwenyu. Endo
No,
ulize
mule
na usikie
dem.
vibaya mbali.
Kama nani aliandika ghostika na nisimwite nikimtuma?
Okay, ghostiwa. Ghostika.
Ghostika.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Tough times
prefer
never last,
someone to
mister.
tell you,
Yeah, just be open and
Yeah,
yes,
honest.
we
tell me
haven't
about time.
Because the
defined
same
what
way-
we have,
Yeah.
but whatever it is that we have, I'd like it to be
The
exclusive.
same way I'm gonna
Before
look
we
at you.
figure things out.
The same way I look at you
I
and
would
tell
want
you,
it to be
no, I
exclusive.
don't
No, that's
want
no
a
problem.
commitment. I have so much
If
balls
it comes
to
from
tell
a man,
you.
I don't have a problem
So,
with it.
yes, that was my question.
Okay.
If it comes
Yet,
from a man, I don't mind.
Those are comments from chicks. Like they want just
Yeah, be.
come straight forward.
Yeah.
Date casual.
Because I'm still the same
Who
person who will
expect, and
tell
then the
you.
guy akayapo apewe yes or no, I did not feel
Even as a girl,
Let me to me example.
Even as a girl, don't
What about the girl?
don't.
beat around the bush.
Yeah,
Let me
stop
ask
beating
Ron.
around the
Let me
bush.
ask Ron. How would you like to be asked what are we? Ama chika kama kwambie after you've been seeing each other for 3 months,
I like
on and
you.
off, like yo, I like you. I wanna be exclusive.
That's a very
Which
important
one? Which one I would prefer?
Yeah.
Okay. How I work, umeniuliza me as Ron.
Where
Yeah.
Si ndio?
Eh.
Self-representative. Haitafika miezi 3.
Unaona?
Like,
Okay, thank you.
what the hell are we doing for 3 months?
Surely.
Like 3 months is a freaking
Si
long time.
tunagaliva.
Reduce
3
from
months.
sita.
In 3 months,
Amekata yangu bado.
nishajua kama my plans for the year are failing or not. Like,
Ai, we pia sasa uko
najua
too
kani ya
serious.
resolutions zangu zinaenda ku go through ama hazi go through.
Okay, I have a
That's
question
how
for you,
long.
Ron.
That's how long
6
3 months are for me.
Hata naweza
okay,
kujinine
no
months.
So
problem.
for me,
Hata kesho labda ndo soulmate yuko niseme yes leo na kesho ndo soulmate.
no, here's the thing.
No, like, okay, I get what you're trying to say.
Eh,
And if you ask me honestly, it's very preferable. Now, I have only one question for you, Roy. Ron. Aki pole. Aki mimi na names. Ni mimi na Pascal tuko same WhatsApp group. Ama ni wewe. So
ni
unaona.
mimi.
Okay, your part.
Hata toa.
Moving on swiftly.
Moving on swiftly. You're definitive at the get-go. And you've said exclusive at least 5 times. So do you do non-exclusive
I
relationships?
do not do non-exclusive.
And
Whoever
why?
said the wrong person.
Ai,
not do
bana.
Hey.
And why?
Why?
Ile inabamba sasa ni.
One.
Nyinyi wawili.
Side
No,
inabamba ni
whoever
side.
person to ask. Hebu mimi niulize
Pascal,
swali.
ile
No, the
inabamba
thing.
sasa.
No, the thing.
Iyo.
No, the thing with me is one. I find it exhaustive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I do not like handling multiple people. I find it exhausting. Initially, I just
It
don't.
does not speak for all men.
Yes, I'm speaking for
Disclaimer.
myself.
Yes.
I'm speaking for myself.
Started with as Ron.
Yes, as Ron. And me ni mtu, I don't like a lot of people in my space. So kama ni mtu moja, at least niko na hiyo, in my mind I'm settled.
Unaweza jipanga.
Ni huyu ndio. Plus mi si mtu wa spendi hizi madrama za sijui I saw your text, nani amekutumia text na love hearts, ianze kuleta drama. Niko okay. sawa, fine, let's sort this thing out.
I think
let's
tunakonkludi kitu vizuri sana pale kwa shared values na compatibility.
Yes.
Hapa tushagawanishwa 50-50. Kuna wenye wanapenda a shower life.
It's not a shower life. We just don't really prefer to give you a clear answer without knowing.
So as I'm finishing, we might still be in a position where we haven't defined what we have.
Yeah.
But what I know is this state of limbo that I'm in, it's exclusive with you.
Okay.
Yeah, like
You're not in that limbo with
with other people.
Alafu inakuwa more enjoyable, you guys. Acha niombe tu kweli.
Hapana, tutakuwa tukitana
Kama
weekend.
imeisha una move on, una invest tena the same way na una move on. Au utakuwa umejigawanisha 15 times.
Hapana, mimi sifanyangi multi-bet ndo moja yu choma. Moja ndo yu choma hiyo bet. Inaharibu kila kitu. Now stake yako imechomeka juu ya moja. Out of 12, moja imechomeka.
Erunge take 2 time ufanye 3 months. 3 months. One year umemalizana.
So me imagine I'll just communicate nikwambie I am not ready for a commitment.
Yeah.
I enjoy your company.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for a commitment. We can continue doing what we are doing. We don't put a label on it, but in case my stand changes, in case I'm in a position where I'm ready for a relationship, I'll come and tell you.
Yeah, hivyo ndo nilikuwa najaribu kusema. Everybody calling me a shower. That's what I was trying to say.
You're right, the shoe fits.
Ron amesema he's only doing that for one peke yake.
Ni sawa.
Melissa, how would you turn someone down?
How would I turn someone down?
It's not you, it's
Come
me.
here, what
Number
are
one.
we?
It's
Number
not you, it's
one. Look absolutely fabulous. That is the day I'm doing makeup one day out of the year. If I didn't go to
Nakuuliza,
events.
unajua utakuuliza what
ngoja.
are we? Ni amekupata by surprise.
Si unaenda kumdam.
Amekuuliza what are we?
Simeniuliza how I'll let
Amekuuliza
someone
what
go.
are we? Amekuuliza what are we?
Amekuuliza
then you
what
want to
are
let
we?
them
And
down.
you want
Number one,
to.
I wouldn't receive that question positively. Number one,
Yeah.
I expect a man to have structure.
Hey.
Structure is very important for me as a man. Like, as in, unakosaje structure na wewe ni mwanaume? Unaniuliza what are we? Utaniuliza bado tunapika nini sasa?
You can only answer one of those questions.
Oh, man.
You can't answer both.
And let me think about dinner. Think about exactly what we are doing here.
Mimi nifikirie sasa.
And when I think about dinner, I'm just passing the idea. Like, okay, do you have any preference? I'm thinking about this for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then don't come ask me what are we. Number one, Mr. Chukulia vizuri, acha tu niseme number one. Number two, venye nitakwambia ni end of fikiria maisha yako vizuri alafu tutaongea.
Go reassess your life and come back.
It's not the first time I've done that, honestly.
Man was just trying
Tell
maybe
you.
to, engage
Okay.
you.
We have that
When the
conversation
man
like it's you
asks-
who asked me that question. Okay, thank you. What are we? What I'll think about a lot of things. The same way you're asking me this question is the same way I'm asking this question. Because if you never gave it instruction and structure in the first place, then don't expect me to go out there and put on flowers and candles and everything. To me, who knows how handsy I am about things I care about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be handsy about a man and then end up heartbroken. Character development in Nairobi hapana.
Watu wanaogopa kuumia.
Si
So is
kuogopa
it that-
kuumia, ni kujua kujiposition. We're going to talk
avoid-
about gender roles in the Culture Shot podcast very soon. I hope you guys tune in.
Yes.
And when you talk about gender roles, there's one specific gender role that is very important to me. Like a man being able to take the lead is very important to me because I know how I am when I do what I do. I know what I'm doing. I'll go hit the nail on the head and then get out of there and move on.
Yeah.
If I'm going there to hit a nail on the head with a man who does not have structure, ni mimi nitakuvuruta nyuma like a kid.
True.
I'm not doing that shit.
Hiyo ndo inaitwa
I like to
bodybuilder.
be dumb and an idiot when I'm with my man. Akishow up, mimi sina akili. Nishike
You
mkono.
it's actually
Jua
true.
kwenye nataka kukula.
That's what
Niko
we
na
like.
akili.
Venye
I have
anatembea.
no brains. The only place I have brains is when I see my man is struggling. That's why I start thinking.
Yeah, you're like, man,
But
someone
then
has to come through.
90% of the time, please, Banange, I have no brains.
Imagine we actually cross the road like opposites. You guys notice if you have shorties around you.
Lazima nikushike mkono
Yeah.
kabla tuvuke cause najua
Mnafika
utaingia tu.
kwa nini kwa mnaingia kwa like a supermarket and this girl is just hovering because they expect you to give them the direction. Let's go for ice cream, let's go for hot dog, let's
Now,
go for
feeling
this.
like it's not like I haven't had to do that before, but then it's absolutely exhausting, especially for a woman. I'm sure you guys have had this said before. Dem akipenda chali kuliko venye chali apenda dem is stress.
Yo.
Juu hata God aliona. God alisema man love woman, woman respect man. Simple. Mimi hakuna mali niliambiwa ati nianze kupenda huyu mwanaume. Mimi kazi yangu ni kumheshimu. Na saa zingine mnakuanga wa slow na wa simple excessively. And I'm not talking about being a simple. I'm just talking about being simple extremely. Hadi wewe unapanga vitu zingine zenye msijafikiria. So at that point acha tu nitupie akili kidogo. Fikiria juu tuko na wewe nione how far you can take us with your mind. Then after that then I will know how I can position myself and my skill set to come and help. I didn't come here to source your life. I came to help you with what you already have.
Okay.
So what are we is not negotiation.
Final thoughts. What are we? Yeah or nay?
Ngoja. Maua, how do you let someone? Lakini ulikuwa umesema mara kadhaa.
Alifungua roho bana.
Give it to me. How do I let someone know?
What are we and you're not anything?
And you're not. I'm going to be a little bit realistic in this one. So I'm going to tell you the first thing. Yeah, politely. I'm going to sit down, listen to you. I'm going to sit down, listen to you, and get to know where you are. I said I'm very genuine, so I'll give you an answer of, oh, by the way, because acha nikwambie kuna saa zingine naingianga relationship bana na nisha fall. Kabla asubuhi ifike, nilisha fall. You get? So like, by the time
it's a fumbling mechanism.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm gauging.
by Maua Jovita.
I'm gauging. You tell me, hey, by the way, this is how I feel. Like, oh, it's been like this for the past. You look at me. If I'm totally in it, yes. If I'm not, and I want to decline respectfully. So sometimes this is what I do.
Let me before Ndembali.
I tell you this.
You want to keep that guy.
Yes, you relax.
You want to keep him.
I'm here to teach people,
not to lose.
Teach people how to keep their men and women. So start with the truth. Tell them the truth. This is how I am. This is who I am, and this is the stage that we are in currently. And be honest and be vulnerable. Tell them, in as much as I don't want a commitment with you, it doesn't mean I don't feel any less. The whole pressure to the title is the reason as to why I feel like I might back away. I don't want to back away. So if you're going to understand what's happening right now, you can get to keep me. If you're not going to agree to disagree in this stage, then I leave you choose the answer that you'll choose after this. But for me, this is where I stand. So akisema, oh my God, I can't do this without you, bana, and sasa udu. You know, it's not you. It's me. You get it?
Inaitwa the gamble on gullibility.
Thank you. But start with honesty and then finish with honesty. It's not you.
It's called the gamble of gullibility.
So,
we coined it.
Did I answer that question? Did I answer
Do you feel like you'd keep the guy?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not backing Gizeti.
You will stay, man.
Melissa, do you feel like Yako, after what you've said and after what you've done, you'll keep the guy?
Yeah.
You guys should see how sweet I am.
Girls, you
this
is what I mean. This is what I mean. My delivery will be very different, but with the same standpoint.
Message ni same.
Delivery.
Delivering your pillow talk.
You have to take care of him, Banang. You don't want to hurt someone's son. You don't want to hurt someone's son.
You sit down there, you listen, and then you give them a piece of your mind, and then if they refuse, you're like, politely, it's not you, it's me.
Hiyo nimetumia hadi nimeambiwa acha kutumia hiyo kitu bana.
But acha ikujena sense. Acha ikujena sense. That's why I say I'm not lying.
Mimi tangu Chris Brown introduce hiyo kitu kwa people have never liked it.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
The truth, though.
And
Imagine
it's always worked before.
It did.
It's not you, it's me. Because sometimes
it's honesty.
Okay, lakini me
you are forcing me to commit. I don't want.
Sometimes it is not you,
it
is me.
It is me.
But then when the problem is yours, I will tell you. I will tell you it is you. I will tell you.
Okay. Wanaume, tafadhali, like, tuache kurudi hivyo. Ukiuliza what are we or who are we, no, patiwe jibu ingine. The way you deliver it's sour. But for guys, me, I'm still clear on that one. I still believe that to be the truth. When a guy asks, huyo amependa. When a lady asks, you still haven't convinced me. I feel like that might be a trick.
But then you're kind of giving it the same kumsa kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Double side of the same coin.
It's actually the same thing because you say
a guy will never want to play with you and with asking that question.
She said for you to ask me that question, you should be that structured. You know, you said for me to ask you that question, enyewe nimependa.
Mbona basi usione the same thing from a Chile if perhaps yeye amependa pia?
Only double
standard.
But si nyi wenye ndo mliadmit
Na nyenye mko hapa
dem
na-
akiulizia swali bado ana way
we know
option.
we know if we're saying what are we and you
Nilisema
tell us you want to be
gam-
with
ni-
us.
ni
bana,
debatable.
dem
Juu dem anaweza
anakuanga
kuwa amekufeel,
gone.
lakini hataki
Ndio,
kuambia
Melissa
amekufeel.
sema she won't ask kwa sababu sometimes ataki kupata
It's
hiyo
just because
nini.
we are scared. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Women are more feminine. We feel much more than you guys.
Actually,
Let's be
ukiniambia ati
honest.
Charlie akiuliza hiyo swali amedecide, hai make sense kwa sababu Charlie ndo yu amua atapropose dem ndo ende wawane. So uwezi niambia
Utaniulizaje what are we?
saizo umesha decide. Kama umesha decide sikuja niambia nimekupenda tupendane.
Na nikatae
Uniambie zia ama yeye ni
uitikie.
sawa.
Hey.
Hiyo ndo
Kimoja-
mwanaume kifua mbele.
Kitu moja na agree ni feelings za mwanaume ziko on the road hapa. Wewe kama feelings zako umia, keep the woman safe. Umesema provide and protect.
Protect your woman.
But I
You
think
protect
what
by
she's-
laying your own feelings down on the ground to be
But I
crushed.
think what I understand from her is instead of asking that question, what are we? So you already know me.
Yeah.
Just say that, you know what, I want this.
Your mind.
Instead of
Yeah.
asking that question, just say what you
Sema.
want.
And then the girls ndo ulize.
Dem
Just
hata
say
akiuliza
what
ni
you want.
uncomfortable pia.
Make it the intention clear. Alafu now you have the conversation.
And if you're a chick
Or-
and you feel like this is a question you should be asking, please do ask. We're not refraining from you asking that question. If you feel like this guy, by the way, every Friday he's not really pulling up, he's not giving you answers, stuff like that, we're not restricting you from doing any of that. Please ask that question. It's a very important question for you to
Yeah,
gauge the next
clarity
step of
and
your
everything.
relationship. Because sometimes some girls just go de lulu all the way into their relationships, and then it ends up being a very toxic relationship because you didn't even know what you're doing, and eventually you guys are just in a whirlwind.
Can I
So
give you another
nobody
tool?
is stopping
Just
that.
as
I just
we-
thought I'd
Yeah,
say
you can
that.
give your
first.
last one.
As we finish
That's
up,
my conclusion, guys. I shall.
just to support what my beloved, beautiful, amazing co-host just said. Asking the question is important, yeah? But then also how you ask a question goes a long way.
Yeah.
I think ini toxic trait yangu na najianika kwa podcast ya wenyewe lakini ni sawa.
Hawatakupata.
It's called
Prospects
manufactured crisis. Works all the time. If you don't know if this person is in for you and you're not sure for real, there's always a way. Kuna venye tu enga God is good. Ata provide tu kabahali tu yenye utaona tu glitch. Na kwa hiyo glitch ndo utapata solution. Kwa hivyo tumia tu your crisis. Utapata answers. Mimi nimeona a lot of marriages being made or ending sooner rather than later because of manufactured crisis. So manufacture a little bit of trouble and see how this person reacts. And then make your decision and move on swiftly. Utakuwa
You see why I don't trust when a chick asks that.
No, that's actually
Manu-
that's actually
Manu
a
what?
smart, indirect way of
Yeah,
asking that.
manufacture
It is actually
crisis.
very smart.
It's true.
I don't condone the manipulation, but it is smart.
Avoid
I can
manipulation,
I
just
can give
manufacture
you-
crisis.
That is manipulation because
No, how you handle it, like as if
Different title.
it's
You know,
different
do not
titles.
own
Same
it.
thing.
Do not solve this problem. Let it be an outside problem that is outside.
Anyway,
Created inside.
but I do acknowledge it's a smart way. Because
Manufacture
if you
crisis.
manufacture a crisis, then this guy doesn't seem bothered. Then
Yeah.
say his
Move
mind is just
on.
not here.
Here my
Utangoja
last
real
comment.
crisis ndo uone ukweli. Manufacture
Zangu ni fear women and don't ask that
and
question.
drink water.
Don't ask that question.
Stay
What are we?
hydrated.
Fear women, stay hydrated and move on with life.
Now imagine them telling you, okay, yes, we are here. And then they leave you in the desert without water.
Battery down.
Sijuani tumia water to stay hydrated.
Kuogopa.
Choose wisely.
Anyway,
Iki kuna options.
Let's
for having us.
Yeah, we end it
Listen,
there.
it's
Hey.
Could go till next year.
Nyinyi.
it would.
Sometimes tuliza what are we? Because you never ask.
We are podcasters.
After doing an
Take it-
episode with you na
Tutapata hapa
tupanga
tena 9
ingine.
months later. Tukiangaliana.
We are podcasters. Let's answer that question in the next 6 months.
Yes.
We are on a Friday. Can catch
Yes.
us on. We are at least tunajua
Yes,
Ron.
unajua who we
So you
are.
know who we are on a Friday on Instagram, on TikTok,
Yes.
on YouTube, on a Friday podcast. You can catch our episodes on Spotify, Google Podcast.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. And
Hey,
pe-
nyinyi mnapatikana wapi?
And we are
Who are you? What are you?
We are not farmers.
we are not farmers.
Uh-huh.
But we are the Culture Shock Podcast in collaboration on this wonderful day with On a Friday.
we appreciate.
And we really appreciate you guys inviting us. You can find us on Spotify. We are yet to branch out to other streaming platforms.
There's Spotify, sorry. There's
Anchor.
Spotify, there's Anchor is still Spotify for
Yeah.
podcasters right now. So there's Spotify, there's Apple Podcasts, there's Free Pods right now. And then the one you just
Social
mentioned,
media.
Google Podcast.
Yes, that one.
That
That
one.
one.
That one.
At
Yeah.
Apple podcast. pia
Yeah.
wamesema,
No.
Are you on Apple Podcasts?
uh-uh.
Okay, so Culture Shock.
Get
is
in there. Get in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
We hope to do more collaborations with you guys. Are you guys gonna
Nice.
come to Culture Shock now?
Yes. Tuteni.
Nyinyi ndo mnafaa kutuinvite.
No, we start.
Wamesema they want
Tuko
men to be,
kwenyu.
tunataka
Oh.
kuja episode 10.
9.
Simesema you are meant to do
Lazima
that.
Sikuwa
ushout.
even.
Episode
Ni
10.
sawa,
lazima
tu-
ushout.
Maybe at 10.
Ni
Episode
sawa.
We'll
10.
figure it out.
Yes.
Gender roles.
You said
Ndio
it.
hiyo.
Gender
Jamaa
roles, our
amesema
next
kila kitu.
episode
You
is
said
episode
it.
9, yeah?
Ruka hiyo.
We will give
Episode
them
10
clearer
gender roles.
information.
Gender
Let's
roles.
give
Watupatie
clearer
clearer
information after we
information.
get
Wait,
Yes, some
we're
of
doing
the men
gender roles this
wapeane.
weekend, man.
Yeah, but the number is what I'm here to confirm
Yes.
on. So I'm gonna give the number of the episode, but I can promise you, we are doing that one.
Nice.
So you're welcome. Just the same way.
Thank you.
Tunakuja. Everyone catch us next on Culture Shock podcast. Takuko next sasa.
Yes.
Ni makelele.
Na hii
On Spotify
makelele.
mostly, yeah.
Kama kawa kama dawa twice on
Aye.
Sunday.
Nice. Cheers. Bye.
Till next time.
Bye-bye.